What does it mean to be the strongest version of yourself as a woman? It starts with how you fuel your body. I'm Dr. Tila, and today I'm joined by Sheryl, an incredible vegan athlete who embodies what it means to be strong, confident, and plant-powered. Today we're talking positive body image, building confidence, and becoming your strongest self, all while making this stunning strawberry matcha pistachio power stack. 3 beautiful layers, 20 plus grams of plant protein, and a whole lot of self-love. Should we get started?
Yes.
So Sheryl, I met you in Brighton, I think, at one of the vegan festivals, and I was just astounded by all your work. I know that you're a vegan athlete. Could you tell us a bit more about your journey and how you came into powerlifting and then how you turned plant-based as well?
Yeah, of course. So I actually was a vegetarian before I was vegan. So I was still very much plant-based. And that journey actually began as a child. So I was actually confronted by a friend who was raised as a vegetarian, and after I sent all of my money each week to the RSPCA because I loved animals, she said to me, if you love animals, why do you eat them? I was only about 6 or 7, so this question kind of confused me, but I also very much understood what she was saying to me. So I went home and said to my parents, who luckily are so supportive,
That's really good.
I don't want to eat animals anymore, and they said that's absolutely fine. So 23 years of being a vegetarian and believing I was doing the best thing I could for animals, I then was confronted by a vegan friend who said, if you love animals, why do you eat dairy? And I went, I don't know. So I went and investigated, the egg industry, the dairy industry and everything else. And I was so upset with what I saw that once again, I was compelled to align my morals with my actions. So that was my plant-based journey, and I was vegan before I started powerlifting. And a friend of mine approached me and said, hey, would you like to come and do some weightlifting with me? And I said, no.
Why? Were you worried about the diet?
No, I was so nervous as someone who had only literally just joined the gym. So I was like, I can't be strong. I had this image of what strong women look like. And I was just like, oh no, that's not me. And I was so horribly unconfident at the time. And I actually had a horrible time of anxiety and depression as well. So I was very low on self-esteem. And so it wasn't ideal. So luckily he reapproached me and he said, would you like to come to the gym? And he's like, come on, let's do it. And I was sort of entered my yes era at this point where I was like, I'm going to say yes to more things.
I love that.
It was the yes era, and it was that facing things head on. And away I went to the gym and I picked up some weights, and I left there feeling just so empowered and elated at what I had done that I just essentially never stopped. That was it.
That's amazing.
There we are.
So did you know about, vegan nutrition then, or did you learn as you went? How did that come about?
I very much learned as I went, and I sort of, read about different things, but I really wasn't sort of on my health kick at that point. It was like I was vegan for the animals, and that was it. So that actually came along a lot later when I made it my profession. Yeah. So it was important to me then to learn more about nutrition so I could inform my athletes and my clients.
So I know that you work with people to powerlift, even if they haven't done any powerlifting at all. I know that they may not all be plant-based, but do you incorporate that? Do you tell them a bit about the benefits of plant-based diet?
Absolutely, yeah. So as you've just said, some of my clients are vegan, some of them are plant-based, some of them are fully omnivorous, but I will always talk to them and they're incredibly receptive. It's really, really nice. We have such a good relationship. They like to know why I'm vegan, and I say, actually, I went vegan for the animals, but actually I've discovered these amazing health benefits, and some of them do have health conditions, and I will sort of, say to them, it's worth exploring these plant-based options for, X, Y, and Z, and they're very receptive to it. And I have had omnivorous clients go vegan off the back of these conversations.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing.
Really positive.
Do you have any examples of where somebody's turned their health around?
I wouldn't say completely, I wouldn't credit myself for things like this, but I've definitely had clients say that they've felt more energized, they felt a lot healthier, they felt stronger. That could entirely just be because it's an elimination thing, so they were eating less junk food or more whole foods and stuff like that. But I've definitely had my clients say, oh, I've discovered so many more foods. I cook many more recipes and stuff like that, because they're just, you know, they're not restricting themselves to these food groups anymore.
That's brilliant, that's brilliant. So let's get going with the dessert. I hope you like this. Are you a matcha person? Because I know it's a bit hit and miss, it's like Marmite, isn't it?
I'm fairly new to trying matcha, and the last few times I've had it, I've actually really loved it, so I'm very excited.
Oh, that's really good to hear. You can't actually taste the matcha that much in this. It's more for the colour, so it's more kind of like a pistachio, creamy dessert, so hopefully you'll like it.
I'm sold already.
Okay, well, I'm going to get you to do some work. Everyone jokes because I always have a blender out first, right? But this is an easy dessert, I promise you. So, what we're going to put in is some silken tofu. Do you like cookie with silken tofu normally?
I love silken tofu.
Yeah.
I've never actually made a dessert with silken tofu.
Have you not?
I've heard about the really popular chocolate protein mousse.
Yeah.
Usually we will make like pasta sauces and stuff like that with it. So I try and get creative with it. So my first silken tofu dessert.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and be as delicate as I can. As a powerlifter,
It doesn't
this is
matter.
not our expertise.
It does not matter, it's being blended, so really don't worry about it. What kind of things do you like to eat in a day normally? What do your meals look like?
So typically breakfast is literally the same every day. It's overnight oats, so you know, nice meal prep, and it's there when we get up. But the important thing with that is that it's really high in protein. So I get a good amount of protein in early, and I think a lot of people sort of end up falling short on their protein because they get to the end of the day and they realise, especially if you're, you know, strength athlete and stuff, they realise they haven't had enough protein. So advice that I give to my clients is get your protein in early, and then you haven't got to worry about it for the rest of the day. So, and then lunch, love a good salad, whatever we've sort of had for dinner the night before, we usually have leftovers for lunch.
Amazing. And what would be your protein sources of choice?
I love tofu. We eat buckets and buckets of tofu, but tempeh, seitan, TDP, and things like that as well. So yeah, anything like that. They're so versatile that you can make.
Nice. And talking about protein, some protein powder. I know that people act like, oh my God, it's so ultra processed. There's good health outcomes from plant protein, and you know, there've been studies on heart health actually that show it's really good. So do you incorporate protein powders?
Every day, every single day. And I think this word, this buzzword, sort of like processed, is people are so scared of things being processed, but we know that actually just changing something slightly means it is processed. And it's these hyper processed foods that have lots of, you know, unhealthy ingredients added to them. Is that probably what people actually want to avoid? Whereas like a protein powder is a great way to get your protein in.
Yeah,
Massive
definitely.
advocate for protein powder.
Especially for older people who struggle to eat lots as well. It's really helpful, isn't it?
Definitely, yes.
So I've got a vanilla-based protein powder that we're going to add. We might need to add some soya unsweetened milk just to blend this, but we'll try without it first.
See how much water is in that tofu.
And then we've got some maple syrup. This may seem like a lot, but this is going to be for 3 main breakfasts, or if you want to make it for desserts, you can make little portions in nice little cheesecake jars. So if you could put that in. Mousse jars, I meant. Is there this thing as mousse jars?
There is now.
And then we've got the dreaded matcha powder. There you go.
It's so pretty.
And Sheryl, I love the fact that you talk about positive body image, because I know what it's like to actually feel like you're being judged for body image all the time. And a lot of men and women get that.
Yeah.
What would you say to people about not thinking about restricting food, improving their relationship with food, and thinking about how to fuel their body in the right way?
I think it's really hard because as women especially, we've been told that we need to be small and we need to be slight and we need to be feminine. And the whole concept of us being that was also always, you know, the whole skinny and stuff like that. And growing up with eating disorder and body dysmorphia and stuff like that, I really went through this. And did you know what? It was horrible. And then as I started to surround myself with stronger people and seeing women being bigger, it really changed my perception of what beauty is, and like, you know, the ideals and things like that. But not that it should only be strong, it should be individual. It's whatever makes you feel good at the end of the day. And naturally with that, I had to fuel my body in order to do that. And the more I did that and the more sort of I became strong, the more I felt empowered. And I felt really, really good about sort of, you know, entirely changing, doing a 180 on what I had perceived beauty to be before. And that's what I sort of portray to my clients, is that, you know, the number on the scale is just that. The scale is just a tool to help us out.
Definitely.
And we're so obsessed with the smaller number, when actually when we're healthy and things like that, the scale doesn't actually mean much. And in order to become stronger and to perform better and build more tissue and put on mass and size, you're going to have to get heavier. And so it's formed this really good relationship in actually whenever I become heavier, I don't get so stressed about it. And whereas before I would have just gone into this horrible spiral where I would literally starve myself.
Gosh.
Yeah, and it was really upsetting and horrible to actually seeing the scales go up and thinking, wow, I'm getting bigger and stronger. So yeah, I really do. I say to my clients, if you want results, if you want to be stronger and, you know, everything else, you have to eat. It's like you wouldn't run your car out of petrol and then try and drive it and go, I don't know why my car won't move. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing. If you want, food is literally fuel.
That's the difficulty, isn't it? Because, you know, when somebody has a problem with alcohol, for example, I'm not saying it's easy, but that's something you can completely take out of your diet and your life. But you have to eat, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why many people struggle, because what are we eating to feel our best? And, you know, when we're actually aiming for skinny doesn't naturally mean healthy, does it? Because I've seen so many people with metabolic disease in slim bodies. So we have to look at overall health, and I always focus on overall health with everybody. Doesn't matter what size they are, how much muscle they have, how tall they are, it's really important. But I just want to point out that obviously we're talking about a lot of triggering things, so if anybody's struggling with body image, with any problems with eating, then do consult a medical professional for help. Okay. Should we add the rest of the ingredients? So if we put some vanilla essence in there, I don't know if I should hand you a spoon.
I think so, because it's quite syrupy.
It's a comedy bowl, I call it, when the bowl's bigger than the actual ingredient inside. And then we're going to add some cashew butter in. So if you add that in. If you want to make this nut-free, then just add some tahini if you like. We filmed earlier in the day with Minal, who's the doctor come bodybuilder, and he had to wear an apron, but look, we've gone commando today. And then we've got some soaked pistachios. And then I'm going to hand you a pinch of salt. Oh, that's a lot.
Should I just grab a pinch? And then I'll...
Yeah, and a pinch of salt, that's optional.
Okay.
And this is a real test for every guest. Can you shut the blender lid?
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Maybe it might work.
I say I'm strong.
Even do that.
I will not fail this.
It's like my mum goes, you're a doctor, and I'll literally like drive somewhere and then I'll walk back and then be like, someone's stolen my car or something. No common sense. All right, and then if we puree that, you might need to add some milk. So I don't know if it's getting hot or it's the actual powder.
Moving, might be the powder, but it is moving quite slowly.
So we're going to add some plant-based milk here. We've got some unsweetened soya milk so that it's high in protein. But if you add half of it, and then we'll see if we need more. Does it smell like ice cream?
Yeah, it's the lovely vanilla. Could be like that scene from SpongeBob where it says 10 minutes later.
I know, yeah. Now your t-shirt can get dirty.
This is out of control. You guys can't see what I can see. 1 second. There's loads of protein on that side. Look.
Oh, there we go.
That's what needs to be freed up.
Right, there we go. Pretend I do that.
I'm out.
Thanks.
All right, I think that's done now. What do you think of that, Sheryl?
It looks really beautiful.
It's like an ice cream, isn't it?
Yeah, it smells really good.
Thank you. Let's put this in the freezer or fridge to chill, and then we'll get going with the strawberry layer. So I forgot my stove today, but we're going to show you what's going to go in there. You know how to use a stove, right? So we've got some strawberries here that have just been quartered. You can use frozen strawberries if you like, and we'll put that in. Matcha is so in at the moment, especially with strawberries. So I thought this would be a nice dessert. And then we've got some maple syrup. If you want it to be more whole foods, then you can use dates, chopped up dates instead, or if your strawberries are really sweet, you might not need this. And that's it, we're literally going to put it on the stove now. She's got such a lovely bag.
Okay.
So this is the final layer, and it's an optional layer. We're just going to have a layer of dark chocolate on top. If we use a bain-marie, I didn't know what this meant before, but we've got some hot water here and we're going to have a bowl. I don't know if that's going to be big enough, Sheryl. What do you think?
Oh.
No.
Do you want a bigger bowl?
It might float, won't it? Or
Is that too big? Is that going to fit in?
no, it should be fine.
That should be okay. No,
Yep.
it's okay.
And then we just put some dark chocolate in there. And literally we just put this on a low heat on the stove and that will melt the chocolate. Don't ever put it directly on the flame because it will burn. All right, so all our 3 layers are done now. We've got our pistachio layer here, which is nice and thick and cooled down. We've got our strawberry layer and our melted chocolate. Thanks to Sheryl, it looks really lovely and silky. I'm gonna get you to do the nerve-wracking bit now. Is the layering. We'll just do one, okay? So like, we won't let them know if it's like shot 50 or something, okay? All right, so if I get you to put a layer of the pistachio at the bottom, then we'll do some strawberry and then some chocolate. So I'll give you a spoon. Would you like a big one or a pointy one or a small one?
I'm going to go for that one.
Okay.
That works well.
So if we do that on one of them, I'll move that out of the way.
Just let me know how much needs to go in.
The joys of food photography.
Bit more?
Yes, please.
Plenty in there.
So before we put the strawberries in, we're just going to put some vanilla extract in. And if you can give that a mix for me, Sheryl, and then put that in.
Right, this is the nerve-wracking bit.
So we'll put the strawberry layer on.
That was really exciting.
It looks like a, I don't know, like a
It looks really
kid's dream pastel. Yeah, and then we'll just put a really tiny layer of chocolate because I've tried to put too much chocolate and then you can't bash it open. There we go. How amazing does that look?
It looks really pretty.
Yeah, and then we're going to put the chocolate layer on.
Test now.
We could do a drizzle, we could do a whole layer, whatever you prefer. Right, let's quickly do these.
Yeah.
My only contribution is getting minty. So thank you, Sheryl, for your lovely layering. I don't think I could have done it any better than this. Do you want to give it a try?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me if you're converted fully into matcha.
You need to get all the layers. So.
And the chocolate will set in the fridge, but we're being impatient here. Yeah?
That's amazing. Yep. Converted. Definitely.
Brilliant, brilliant. As I said, for those that don't like matcha, this is just for show. You're going to love the pistachio taste to this and the vanilla and everything. So there you have it. If you're inspired by Sheryl's incredible journey and you want to work with her on your own strength and confidence goals, make sure to check out her Instagram profile, which I'll link in the description below. Next week, I'll be joined by another amazing plant-based guest while we whip up another show-stopping recipe. In the meantime, if you love this strawberry matcha pistachio power stack, you're going to obsess over my entire playlist of incredible sweet protein-packed recipes. There's something for every craving and every goal. Thanks for joining us today, and remember, you are so much stronger than you know. See you in the next video.
I have to keep like not looking at the lights. I'm like, oh my god, they're so bright. So bright.
Have you had him since he was a
14 weeks.
puppy?
Yeah. So he's like a little. Have you seen Bundy before?
No.
Oh, I'll show you.
Oh no, I've
photos.
seen Mina do videos.
Yeah,
with him.
yeah. Of him eating the Indian, of him eating the curry. He loves
You're
it.
more dry than me.
Huh?
A little bit closer to Karen.
I don't buy.
I do.
I'm scared now. Okay. What does it mean to be the strongest version of yourself as a vegan? As a woman, sorry, no, as a vegan.
We're vegan.
Yes. Just, they'll tell you. Anyway. And then, when literally, this is such an... Actually, we don't have a bowl, we have a
What do we
blender,
have?
and we have a gimbal.
And we have our own.
I just need to go home now.
Right,
We're just going to run this on the iPhone. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah,
You can go. You can go.
Wow.
Okay, so this is done now.
Wait.
No, it's not.
I've got pistachio in my mouth. Okay.
Where's the...
Just give this a smell.
Is it garlicky?
Garlicky.